Greetings, everybody. This is Moocow1980 once again. As promised, back with you for another edition of the ALTTPR Enemizer Tournament 2024. Tonight, we have werfjig and akuheish going against each other in a decisive round of 32, Game 3. This should be a lot of fun. This should be interesting. These are two very good runners. I will be joined tonight at Tracker by myself. This is going to be a lot of fun, chat. So pretty much we're going to be working together tonight. But I'm going to do this to make it work for you guys. As been talking in chat there are some links in there if you wish to volunteer. We're always looking for help. We're always looking for people that can help with comms, help with tracking, help with anything. So please feel free to help out whenever you can. Classic OG, we're going to find out how possible it is. Sword found at Sank to start off. Shouldn't be too hard in a way. You just may need some people to say, hey, make sure you get that clicked in there. And it won't be taken as a malicious thing. Won't be, anything mean. It'll be all in good, positive intent. As werfjig takes an early death here. Enemizer tournament, as you can see, there are enemies all over the place. We don't know what's what. And wow, that was quick, akuheish. Thanks. I could not see what that was, akuheish. I have a suspicion. And I looked twice. And I just couldn't tell what that was. Blue armor in a drop down. I did a good screenshot. It's all crystals. There's a red and Eastern. And werfjig, I have no idea what that is, guys. I'm gonna have to look here real quick. So they both get their blue armor. That's a bow and arrow. So we have an ice rod for akuheish as the big find, and Cackwell and flute. Thank you. I will get their blue armors on them in a moment, and I will get the crystals updated in a moment as well. Hook shot. And blind hut. Looks like the chef from Burger Time. I think I'm pretty much caught up on items here. Those were flippers. So we're going to need boots for flippers. Half magic in a race game. This is the Sea of Stars MSU, by the way, in case you guys were not aware. I don't believe I said that earlier, and some of you probably picked up on it already that are Sea of Stars fans. werfjig going to go back and pick that up. Akuheish with the flute has gone up the mountain, going over straight to Paradox Cave. Just pieces of heart down low. Well, this is a little bit of an ugly room with the mini helmets and just the fighter sword, but the hook shot makes it tolerable. Big heart, the piece of heart, bug net, nothing else. That's going to be red armor for werfjig. For the record, I rolled the seed. Mushroom on floating island. Thank you so much, guys. There is the shovel and mini mold worm, along with a mirror. And as I was saying, I rolled the seed, so any complaints about the baby mode of the seed can be directed to me. But I do want to appreciate you guys so much for any and all help that you will be providing tonight, because I am going to try to catch everything. I will miss some things, but we do this together as a labor of love. There's the Moon Pearl inside Spec Rock. I don't think Akuheish got that. I think he just went straight right and went over to the east side. I don't think he climbed the mountain on the west side and saw that. At any rate, I do want to thank you guys for all of your help in advance. We get through this together. Like his werfjig, his moon pearl. This should give shovel and the mirror for akuheish. Okay, so now they're flip-flopping here. So akuheish is going to get his moon pearl. And here are the runners' Twitch links. Please give them a follow. And there's my link if you wish to follow me. I didn't get a chance between races because I was looking for a tracker, so I'm going to grab a drink real quick while they're doing checks that they've already done, that we've seen. Thankfully, with a mini fridge in my room, I could go across the room and get it. So we have Eastern open, Desert is not, Tower of Hera is open. Now, with that case going back up, I assume this is going to be a Tower of Hera play. Pearl. I thought I clicked on that button. No, I stepped away and didn't click on it yet. Now it should be going through. All right. I didn't catch everything there. There is a red crystal and pod. That's a helm at the top of Tower of Hera. Nothing in Nagina. I'm getting the crystals caught up, guys. Unfortunately, I did not catch what the green pendant was. Meyer, thank you. I appreciate that. I believe we should have everything updated now. Well, there is an escape. And there's a glove on Helma. And red mail. Got it, guys. We got it. We got it all together. This should go smoother. Obviously, you get all your crystal information right up front. You know, it does take a lot to do tracking and calming, but, you know, we get through it together. You guys are my MVP. Give yourselves a follow if you haven't followed yourself already. For being my backup tracker. If you have to, unfollow yourself and then refollow yourself. There's a Quake and a lamp. So Quake was back of escape for akuheish. And lamp and Zelda cell for werfjig. And Tower Hera for akuheish. Done. Got it, guys. Be good. Fire Rod at Dark Cross. Last seed was Fire Rod in... Where was Fire Rod? I don't even remember last seed, and I just watched it. I think it was Fire Rod Zelda Cell. I don't know. But we don't have to worry. We're going to be fine. We'd be fine if we got any Trinexes. Alright, there's a sword in Saha. Or a werfjig. Put him up to the master level. We don't know what we're seeing here. akuheish made just a wish that he had done Saha. Get a little bit of firepower there. Give us the boss check. That is a Viddy. We've seen one item. Ooh, red guard room here. Should be okay to get through, but akuheish is gonna... They're going to make a stab at this Viddy. They're going to wish they had gone to Saha and gotten the Master Sword. To make it anything to make that easier. Oof, that is a tough early boss to have. Alright, 100 items. Or 100 rupees. They're noping out. I don't blame them. It's out of logic anyway, because it's a dark room. You don't know what you're getting into. I don't blame them. Alright. This should be the next level sword for Akuheish. Go ahead and pop him up the master. Someday it'll refresh and give him Master Sword. There it goes. Werfjig's got the advantage of the lamp, though, so may want to take that stab. Pretty much seeing Akuheish follow in Werfjig's earlier footsteps. Werfjig gonna go ahead and get a fairy here and pick up the other one for actual health. Head on to the back. We'll have the lamp. Oh my god, that's a nasty room. I think Akuheish made the right call dipping out of that. They would not have made it. They would not have made that room. Doing that room in the dark with the lino and all that jazz back there, Fire Rod was Dark Cross. Lamp was Zelda Cell. So those are your two fire sources. So Akuheish should be cleaning us out and getting that stuff. Werfjig, who was able to navigate that nasty second dark room in Eastern to go to the back. Doing pretty gosh darn good for a Master Sword Vidi fight, I gotta say. Give some props to Werfjig for that fight. 300 rupees is the prize, so that is all 3 items there. This will be Fire Rod for Akuheish. Go ahead and ring up a Done Eastern Palace or Werfjig there. So Akuheish is making an okay decision here, not going back to Eastern right now. Perfectly fine. Probably get through that fight quicker with better equipment later on. Both going into desert. See if the akuheish gets an item on this side or not. Definitely the big key is likely some bombs. There's the big key. Quake was back of escape because he's been to Tower of Hera and gotten a glove off the boss. They didn't get a key in the front or a Dark Cross was fire, but they didn't get a key in the front, so they have to have the glove to get into the back. Alright, so we're not getting Mirror Shield, folks. If you love the Mirror Shield, I'm sorry, you're not getting it this seed. I think that was a blind. Yeah, that's a blind. You have a blind fight awaiting. The only problem for werfjig is can't do it because you have to do Tower of Hera first. werfjig is going to go ahead and save the old man. akuheish, because it did beat Tower of Hera, is going to go ahead and go to the back and take care of blind. The only thing with blind is you can't really do the scripted fight, because when you do the scripted fight in Thieves Town normal mode, blind is in the middle of the room, so to speak, and then spawns and goes up a little bit. Blind tends to be at the very top of the room in Enemizer mode, so it's very hard to do the blind script. I have been told by experienced runners that if a room is bow locked, you still assume it's bow locked, even though you can get through it now in Enemizer. That is what I've been told. And this has been by a couple of really good runners. If it requires a bow to be in logic, it still requires a bow to be in logic, even though you could probably get through it without the bow. akuheish gets through the blind fight. I honestly did not see what was on the ether tablet. $20, thank you. And nothing at Agina from what I could tell. This will be Old Man Rescue for akuheish. So we have an item in the basement of Tower of Hera. Now, as far as akuheish knows, there is an item left on Vidi in Eastern Palace. But they're going back up here, likely for a book and possibly a basement play. While werfjig is going about their business. Finally gets the mask busted off Helmasaur. There's Tower Hera done for werfjig. There is the basement play for akuheish. So this is basically it before they go to their agate plays. They're going to have 2 crystals apiece. Different crystals, of course, but they'll still have 2 apiece. And green ruby for their troubles. Akuheish is going back for that item. I honestly, werfjig's going to do their back of the scape, which is going to pick up Quake for them. I would be just doing agate at this point. Because you have the mirror if you find out, oh my goodness, I had to do Eastern. But statistically speaking, you're feeling a good chance that you're probably getting that bow off of Lumberjack Ledge. For all we know, it could be silvers. But I would be using that to personally influence my decision and say, you know what, I'm just going to take my chance that that's going to be my logical first bow, and I'm just going to go to agate. Shovel led to a bloopy. And werfjig is just gonna pull the trigger on the agate play. See how akuheish fares in their Vidi fight. And just to expand on the talk of what bosses can be in Hera. You can have a Cold Stare and a Moth there in addition to Helma and, of course, Moldor. Vidi can be there too. And Akuheish officially completes the 3 Crystal Light World. And werfjig is basically halfway up the tower. Maybe a little more than that. Yeah, was a little more than that for sure. So werfjig, and it just comes down to routing and what you decided to do and not to do. But basically, akuheish did Tower of Hera first, did have to double dip Eastern. Because they didn't have their light source. Then werfjig didn't have his glove when going to the desert the first time, so it is what it is. Agonaut playing completely nice with werfjig. Would have loved to just had 6 blue ball special, but nope, had to get some blue balls. Regardless, Aga is dead for werfjig. As soon as they have the boots, that bow and arrow is open. Piece of heart on the pyramid ledge. Thank you guys. Appreciate you helping out there with the reminding what to click. We all knew they had it. It's got to be stamped official by me clicking that button. So werfjig just went straight up. And went into Graveyard Ledge. First I thought they were going to do Catfish, but nope, they're going to wait on Catfish. Oh, there is a sword. So Graveyard Ledge pays off. Let's see what's up here on Bumper. Hammer on Bumper. So guess what item we need? That's right, folks. It's the cape. So we need boots for flippers. We need a cape for hammer. Oh, werfjig is in a trap. Just going to take the damage boost through. Key in the middle. Yeah, you get that anti-fairy going, and it'll just roll right up in the middle, and it'll just be a pain. This yellow spike is not playing nice. It's like akuheish is following the same path. Go up here, and you'll get your tempered, and that's what's going to happen. werfjig's going to go back and fire rod into the back of Skull Woods. That is an ugly back of Skull Woods with those crystal rollers and yellow spikes. That's just a map. I think werfjig is going to try to do this. It's not happening. Did have the fairy from the Vitreous fight that he got. I wonder if he remembered he had that. I wouldn't be shocked if he forgot about it. But it gives full health after getting through that mess, so that's a good thing. But with no compass, we have no idea what this boss is. None whatsoever. Cannot. Maybe. Enough magic? There we go. Cold stare. I was getting ready to say it cannot be something that's going to require a lot of magic. And as soon as I started to say that sentence, I saw cold stare. And there's the compass to tell us what the boss of Skull Woods is. How nice. There's the big key. On the right side of Skull Woods, as the yellow spikes play with the akuheish. So we've got 3 checks where the 2 items are in Skull Woods. If you know, look, this dungeon layout is terrible. All these spikes and traps, it's ugly. There is a shield for akuheish. So there is 1 item in the books. And a full heart. So there's both items are on the front. And they're going to step on each other. So, if you like what these runners are doing so far, and the fact that they are in the round of 32 into the game 3, please give them a follow. They are great people to talk to. I've enjoyed my interactions with them. And if you like hanging out with me, well, go ahead and give me a follow. Werf did not check ped. He just went straight to the back and left. I would have taken that opportunity to check ped. Then again, I'm always thinking about chat. So anyone watching my stream, if you can get some ped hype, I'm always going to try to deliver that ped hype to you. But considering werfjig also has super mega fast speed beeping hearts when he's on low health, which is a great inconvenience to us, the listener. You know, that's... yeah. I gotta talk to him about that. Ooh, Titan's Mitt in C-shaped house. So that'll make for easier Dark World access in the meantime. Well, that cleans out the 3 checks of village. Go ahead, and we need to ring up some Skull Woods done yet. Akuheish didn't check pet either. Armos Knights in Thieves Town. Aku took a death on Cold Stare. Okay. My apologies. I clicked them both. Samaria and Thieves Front. So that is a, all intents and purposes, 3-item front for Thieves Town. There is an item in the back. Where in the back, we don't know. Akuheish is following in werfjig's footsteps again. Again, he'll have to go back and do Skull Woods. werfjig has to go back and do Desert Palace. So does those two things wash out in time? Probably. You know, we'll see. Would have been great for Akuheish to get that win, but it's okay. They don't know that, but we know that. This is too many digs on the dig game. All right, come on, game. All that work for a red 20. That's terrible. I call shenanigans. werfjig was going to move on and then said, you know what? I'm going to go back and talk to Jeremiah. Akuheish, with one item left, is going in for it. And it is possible that it could be locked. So Smith has nothing. There's a possibility that this item akuheish is seeking in Thieves Town is in the big chest, which cannot be accessed right now. So this is a calculated risk on akuheish's part. Uncle Ira, yes. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Was a good friend of mine. Nothing at K45. Nothing on Stumpy. All right, this is the last check for akuheish, so if this doesn't pay off, this was a time sink. Cannot get it. werfjig, meanwhile, nothing on purple lunchbox. I'm going to go over here and check the Bombos tablet. Bombs. Well, next up for werfjig, it's going to be Hype Cave. After that, he's going to have to go toward the pyramid and do the mirror tactics to get around to be able to go over towards, say, Pod or Catfish. There's a second bottle for werfjig. You didn't get that quite yet, werfjig. I'm gonna go ahead and mirror. This may be. We'll see where it takes them. Okay, this is Meyer. Nothing in Meyer's shed. I think that was Bombos for Meyer entry. Yeah, I'm going with Bombos. I had to blow it up full screen to look at it. I got such a quick check on it. werfjig did. It was kind of hard to tell. We're putting some Samaria strats to use here, and it's going to pretty much breeze through this blind fight. Go ahead and chalk up that victory. Both sides got their light world dungeons done. werfjig would be in the lead based on the fact that he was able to one-shot Skull Woods, and akuheish unfortunately had a death. werfjig in the meantime, I'm gonna finish up the Meyer stuff. Just a 50. Thank you for that. There's a Samario. This should be bottle number 2 coming up for him as well. Pretty sure werfjig has his net too, and I think that input just got eaten. There it goes. Took forever for it to show up there. Nothing in Super Bunny Cave. Oh, look at this. Easily dodged, but still, pain in the rear. Nothing there. But they still have the item to get on the floating island, which is that mushroom, which we don't know what it could turn into. My chat is telling me ether for TR. werfjig just went straight turn it in for bombs. I'm gonna pick up some potions while there. Akuheish is in Hookshot Cave. This is werfjig. I was going to say pod, and I held myself because I knew if I said it, he'd go the wrong way. And that's what's happening. He's going to go up. This is going to be Catfish and Zora, and a peek at Zora Ledge. And gosh, these spikes are ugly. Technically, both had it. Need to put it down for them. I did not see what Catfish was. Did you guys catch that? Chat's not blowing up, so I'm assuming it was junk. Full heart on the Zora Ledge. This must be akuheish going back to get his revenge. And nothing on Zora. So while akuheish goes to gain his necessary revenge, werfjig is going to take this portal, and now I'm going to say pod is the play here. No one has checked PED. We do not know what PED is. Oh, akuheish got hit by the wall master. That's not even an Enemizer thing either. That is a straight up normal wall master that's there. So his troubles in Skull Woods have him in a little bit of a bad position right now in terms of a race standpoint, because werfjig's now going into the next pendant dungeon here. Now, werfjig can't beat it, but if werfjig finds progression, which the key is not progression, but it'll allow him to move around, but you know, this is all extra time that akuheish can't afford to be giving up. werfjig just takes that key and goes up the middle of pod. Gets another key. Blows up the side wall. werfjig's going to go for the big key chest here. Let's go through drop down. Now akuheish, I can put down Skull Woods as completed. Well, there's the Bombos. The Bombos being pod. Wow. Etherped. Well, things just got a little bit spicy. We'll have to see how werfjig routes. Maybe he gets bottlenecked. But that's such an easy check to make when you're right there at Skull Woods. There's the cape. That's going to unlock the hammer. There's the magic powder. Our most knights are in pod, which we can't get to unless we pull a bow out here. We know where one bow is. That's Lumberjack Ledge. Berna. Pod had the goods today. So let's get this all caught up here, shall we? Hey, Berna, powder. werfjig. Going over to get that hammer. They got the bombos too. So 4 items of merit in pod. I think that's all the items in pod. I think the other one was a piece of heart. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mitts were the C-shaped house. I bet he's got mitts. And I just didn't mark them. Alright. That's why I got you guys tonight. That's why I got you guys. You guys gotta be my second set of eyes. But we have a happy, fun time together. Yeah, there's the piece of heart. So, bombos, cape, Berna, bombos, cape, Berna, powder, piece of heart. That is all the items from pod. So, boots are locking flippers. And they're locking a progressive bow and arrow. Werfjig is going to go ahead and go into Spike Cave here. Seriously, Werfjig, we need to talk about this fast heart beeping when you're low health. Spike Cave is nothing. And he's just going to reset the game and save his magic usage. Akuheish going into Mire. Mire has 2 items and is also the green pendant, which means you could basically call it a 3-item dungeon. Unless Werfjig finds something here, I mean, we're getting pressed into Mire. Logically. And you would just want to stay on logic at this point. You wouldn't want to say dip ice. There's the boots on Magic Bat. So, Werfjig is going to have a bow and arrow coming up and going to have some flippers. Looks like bow and arrow is going to be the first order of business. Go ahead and give that bow there. Werfjig going to go clean out pod. Viddy is the boss in Mire, if you guys did not see that. It was a very quick check. And that was about the time Werfjig was getting his boots. But Werfjig did not get the flippers. There is one item. That's $300 and Mire. We are not in go mode. It is an all dungeon seed. Because PED is ether, which is needed to get in the TR. As XCage has pointed out in chat, when Werf was in Skull Woods to do the boss, never mirrored the Chuck PED. Akuheish died the first time in Skull Woods boss, came back, and then did the mirror check. But Werfjig knows where the boots are, where Akuheish just went straight to Mire. So Magic Bat has the boots. Go ahead and ring up another crystal for werfjig, who cannot get into TR. Has both red crystals. This is probably going to end up being a big bomb play. It's going to be the mountain. Did he not check? Oh, he's remembering. Now he's remembering. He had a brain lapse there, and it dawned on him what he was doing. Anyway, we're getting a green pendant turn in. Just a bottle. werfjig. This is going to be werfjig's flippers. I think werfjig has put 2 and 2 together. That there's going to be flippers checks. And yes, there is the mire. Thank you so much for that. So this chain of events for akuheish should lead to their bow, and okay, there's nothing in the waterfall fairy. Probably be a hobo check too. Or we're just going to go straight and ice right here. Now, werfjig can defeat any boss. All these checks are being made by werfjig because time wasn't invested to do the head check at Skull Woods. Meanwhile, akuheish is basically doubling down that Thieves Town has something and has gone back in. We know that's not the answer. He needs to go over to Magic Bat. There's a Moldorm in Ice Palace. He does not know. He left that dungeon not knowing. Oh, this is making things spicy, folks. And here comes the boots for Akuheish. Big bomb play for werfjig, while Akuheish has the power of speed now. We'll go pick up a couple of items. Choose to do flippers first. This is a ped seed. Answer a question in chat. Bombs and bombs. You're not going to find what you need in there, werfjig. Pretty much, this is go mode for Akuheish getting those boots. So about 123 and change was go mode for Akuheish. Because Akuheish knows what they have to do to collect the items to be able to get the GT. werfjig with their third bottle. So we know where all 4 bottles are. But this is a world of hurt for werfjig. Akuheish in the swamp, getting ready for a specky clip. And here's where werfjig is going to scream. So now werfjig understands the gig. Bloomerang. Akuheish. Werfjig is going back to ice with the realization that he was pretty gosh darn deep in the ice and left. Aku is ahead because Aku cleared out Mire. Aku knew it was a ped seed before going to Mire. And we have a vanilla Argus. I don't know how to change music, guys, so you will have to live with the music as is. So basically at this point, akuheish is up a mire and a swamp over Werfjig's pod. And pod's nothing. And even in this double dip for Werfjig, because he didn't check ped, he was checking everything in Ice Palace when he could have go-moded Ice Palace. So ultimately, that's also going to be a time save for akuheish. He's just going in and getting right down to it. Oh, thank you, Lana Bean. I didn't realize that I could actually roll the mouse down the screen. This is SNES MSU mix. Bring up some ice palaces on the trackers for him. akuheish electing to do pod next and get that done. So essentially, akuheish is a dungeon up. Mario RPG here. While we're stepping over everyone here, please give our runners a follow. They've been putting on a great race for us today. It's so sad that one of them will be leaving the tournament, but that is the nature of tournaments. You can also feel free to give me a follow too if you would like. werfjig has left Swamp. Next stop, Mire. But the big thing right now, werfjig, again, we know he never checked PED when he was at Skull Woods. If he doesn't mirror out of Ice Palace and just clears Ice Palace and says, you know what, I'm here, I'm just going to do it, just in case, things would be tighter. Go ahead and move on over to the Rico flute. Go up to pod or ped. Let's try it over. He's fluting the Kakariko to go up to ped to pull to get his ether medallion to be able to go up into TR. Spaces is streaming, rating with a party of 5. Thank you so much. I appreciate you bringing your stream to us here at SpeedGaming for this Link to the Past Randomizer Enemizer Tournament 2024 race where akuheish, tied 1-1 with werfjig, is pulling PED for the ether medallion, which is needed to open TR. This has been an all dungeon seed. Aga was needed. Turns out Aga was needed for Dark World access and for a bow. And the difference is akuheish checked PED while he was in Skull Woods and knew it was a PED seed. werfjig didn't. werfjig could have had this a little bit tighter, but not knowing it was a PED seed and hadn't checked PED yet, decided to dip Ice Palace and then leave after getting the third item. So that costs some precious time in here that we don't know how it's going to impact things. werfjig finally gets the lobby chest for the big key to go back to the boss. Yeah, there were a few other little things here and there, but just to kind of give the sum up, that is the basic difference. Ultimately, though, the lesson is, if you have mirror and book and you're at Skull Woods at the back, Just check ped. If werfjig checks ped, we got a different game going on. Now at this point, because we have the ice rod, you can't even sit there and pray for a Trinex situation because Trinex is beatable. There's the big key. So no lava chest. Now, while akuheish is in the lead, it's not to say that akuheish didn't have their own plays that were questionable. After defeating Thieves Town and getting the third item of the dungeon, Hammer was not available at that point, and akuheish chose to go to the back of Thieves Town. Did not get the item because it was in the big chest. Then later on, when he did get the hammer, elected to go in and check that big chest anyway. Then after that, ended up getting himself over to Magic Bat for the boots, which opened up everything that he needed. akuheish also, unfortunately, died to Cold Stare in Skull Woods. Had to go back for a second time around. It didn't necessarily make him check pad. He just decided to do it while he was there. We don't know what possessed them to or not to check pad. He might have checked it feeling behind. He might have just realized, I forgot to do it the first time. I need to go do it now. It's hard to tell. But we'll ask him about it, because obviously that is the focal part of the race. Obviously, werfjig, if checked pad, would have single-dipped ice. As there's another blind. He wouldn't have done Bomb Fairy. Alright. Well, that is the final crystal in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 checks in Ganon's Tower to where the big key could be. Please go ahead and put your guess in chat. The winner gets a lifetime supply of randomized Enemizer seeds. game will end right now. Check number 1 is a red rupee. And I'll try to keep up on their items, guys, but if they get something, but that's not as pertinent. There's 2 is a piece of heart, 3 is a key, 4 is a 50 spot, 5 is a key, and he's mirroring out to go to Overworld. Yeah, I'll try to keep up on their items if they get something major, but at this point, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I like to be a completionist and have it correct, but... Check number 6. Check number 6. That is your big key. War Bun Bun. Guess 6 first, technically. The Gnome Project and Silver Demos also guess 6. But you know what? I want everyone to be happy, so every one of those 3 won. All 3 of you are winners. Lifetime supply of randomized Enemizer seeds. All to you. All to you 3. Not gonna lie to you guys, this is the best music of Super Metroid right here. The Norfair March. Moth in the middle of GT. I heard this for the first time playing Super Metroid. I knew something was going down. Ooh, double fire bar there. Just use your powder, akuheish. Werfjig at least went Hope Room. Saved a little bit of time, but unfortunately, maybe too little too late. This is basically Wallmaster out of nowhere territory for Werfjig to have a chance. Aku doesn't believe in powder, says chat, as Aku uses powder to get health. I hate that when people make a liar out of you when you say something. Well, nothing to speak of for akuheish. It's going to be a spin to win. He's going to use his cape. Smart thing to do. Best way to get through that room. I got nothing on that. I have no idea what was going on there. There's 2 hits. It had to have been a controller. It had to be something bizarre. That's possibly 4. That's 5. Okay, one of those counted as a single, but it didn't matter because that cycle, he batted them all towards him anyway. 2-2. Well, it can't be a 2-2-1-3, chat. Regardless, it's irrelevant now. Akuheish is dropping into Ganon. This will be a spin to win. Got some Contra 3 music for the Ganon fight here. So this is a smart thing to do. Put the cape on and just go to town on the pig. Down to 1 heart. Use one of those potions. Get yourself back up. werfjig finishes up. A vanilla-ish Moldorm. It only had 1 eye instead of 2. As Akuheish is working on this final few spins here. And ladies and gentlemen, barring an inexplicable turn to the left or right, get your GGs in chat for Akuheish. Who only needs to cross a bridge and does so. And in 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 3 seconds has claimed Game 3 in the round of 32. And I will see about getting them in here. And eventually, the audio will switch over. And I guess Akuheish is already joined in here. He already has access. Good GG's, Akuheish. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for the GG's.
We're seeing werfjig wrap up the fight here. So, let's talk a little bit about this whole Skullwood situation. because this became to be pivotal. He never checked ped.
Oh,
you didn't check ped the first time, but you died and then went back. So what was your logic on checking ped? What possessed you to check ped?
I was checking ped for chat. That was it. Then it became important after checking.
And, you know, because at first it's like, okay, you go through Thieves Town, and then you double down on Thieves Town after you check the whole back, and then you, like, went with the hammer, and it was just like...
Well, I was looking for boots with that hammer, and I was figuring it was going to be behind a hammer check somehow.
Get your GGs in chat for werfjig, who is going to cross the bridge into the Triforce room. And they will have a final time of 1:53:27. And we're going to go ahead and see if we can get werfjig in here to talk with us. Just be a moment here, but I mean, obviously, besides that, I mean, the seed went pretty well for you, and once you found out that it was a ped seed, you were able to just kind of put pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I was just looking for only what was necessary. Like, I knew I needed boots for the flippers and a bow. And with the other bow in swamp someplace. Flipper or boots for both bows, even.
So the big thing was this was not the prettiest seed. I mean, look, we're in the $1.50s here for our finish times, and you know it's never going to feel good when you start off and you look up there and you see the bow on an agate ledge.
I was hoping that was going to be a second bow, honestly, and then it turned into an all dungeon seed. Then just go with what I have. Just go fast. Find everything. The keys mostly after that.
Obviously, the death on Cold Stare and Skull Woods had to make you feel behind, but did you at any point ever feel like okay in the seed? Would you know, because this was kind of a messy seed.
I felt behind going into Dark World with Aga because I full cleared everything I could, minus fake flippering, which I didn't even feel like doing.
All right, we are now joined in the booth by werfjig. GG's werfjig.
Hey, GG's. I didn't see the invite. So I didn't realize I was there was an interview. GG's Aku.
The GG's werfjig.
I really wanted to win this one too. Like, I think when I went into AGA 2, I closed the race time. It was probably a little earlier than that because I don't think I took 2 minutes on Ganon and AGA 2. But man, I just restream makes my brain no worky.
Oh. and then there's me on the other side that checks ped for chat because I'm sure chat was screaming ped seed.
I mean, I think objectively checking ped there is a good call because you already have mirror and book. So, like, it's not even for the memes, it's just a good play.
Right. Yeah,
so I guess the natural question, werfjig, is unfortunately you didn't check ped while you were there, and then later on you're in the Ice Palace looking, you get your 3 items, you mirror out, and then you check ped. And
it's just ped is such a low percentage play, and at that point I also had Swamp and Mire to go, plus a bunch of overworld checks that I hadn't done, like Pyramid or Hobo. Yeah, it just felt so low percentage. And I'm like, it can't possibly be this. And then it was. And if I'm gonna lose a pet seed, then so be it. It's just one of those things that you make the mistake and then you correct it in your game.
Yeah, with PED being only required as a medallion to get into Turtle Rock.
That's the second race I've lost to Ether this tournament.
Oh no.
But yeah, I feel like I played well. I once I saw that Ether was on PED, I feel like my execution was pretty decent. And I was hoping that I could claw back a little bit of time there. I had a feeling that Aku was going to check that because I watched a little bit of their previous races and they seemed pretty thorough, like going through race game before scouting it, and typically it looks like you like to dive the back of Thieves Town in Enemizer.
Yeah, I do, because it's burned so many people and I just go for it now.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But that's where I gained time by not doing Thieves Town, but that was one of the last things that I had before checking PED. I had Mire Swamp and one item in Thieves Town.
And unfortunately, at the time that you had done Skull Woods, you were leading, but unfortunately, not doing that check, and then you started to do some of those overworld checks, like doing the bomb pyramid. And unfortunately, that gave akuheish enough time just to kind of close that gap back up.
Oh no.
I full cleared everything in the light world before going to dark world through Aga. I'm sure I lost time there.
I also the only thing I didn't do was Zora.
Yeah, and I did not do either.
Yeah, and then I also had a desert that I knew there was no item on, so yeah. That did feel bad though, because typically if I'm looking at the timer and it's around 20 minutes is when I like to make the decision to go to Aga or not. But I think seeing flippers and bow both boots locked tricks my brain into thinking that boots are going to be early, so don't miss them. Right?
Right. I was thinking that too. And boots were essentially my go mode because I knew where those items were.
Yeah.
And checking PED.
I thought boots were my go mode for a minute too. Yeah, because I got my hammer, and then I cleared pod, and then I fluted up to the mountain. I ran all the way to, I guess where the portal is for TR, and then I remember that I didn't have the medallion. I didn't have to look at the medallion to realize that there was a gap in my tracker. So I did a bit of panicking there, but yep.
Unfortunately, someone had to lose, and because it was a game 3, and that was you, werfjig. But you had a lot of fun this tournament, from what I can tell.
I mean, you can call it that. I mean, losing to PED and then twice to item and back up Thieves Town doesn't feel great, but I can say I got as much money out of this tournament as anyone who made it to round 3 and it gets eliminated. So getting 6 matches in is a lot of fun, and I'm sure there's I think a lot of people who make it deep into tournaments, in particular tournaments that only have one game mode, at the end of it tend to be like, man, I'm so tired of this mode. So I get to exit before I hit that point. So hooray.
Right. Yeah, right, you do.
So silver linings, I guess.
And then our who I'm looking down is Hayfield Bay and Zenerkane.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, it doesn't get any easier, but congratulations
Right.
on taking the series.
Of course, they've begun their series, and Hayfield has taken a 1-0 lead at this juncture. I'm not sure when their next race is scheduled. Actually, it is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern is their second race, and then I don't have any information on a third game. They would have to schedule it if it were to be needed.
I might have to watch that, do some recon.
Yeah, you can sign up to track and recon that way.
Like I did with you and Incoherent.
Yep.
We could definitely use the help of tracking, because I did everything on this one tonight. I did the comms and the tracking with, a lot of help from chat. So chat needs to give themselves some GGs.
Yeah, thank you, chat.
As far as this seed, or just any other thoughts or anything at all we haven't touched on, either one of you would like to contribute at this time?
How'd you like those AGA patterns? AGA 2 patterns, I mean.
They're kind of dumb.
Yeah, they felt really bad. I'm just like, how is anyone supposed to hit multiple of these? I think I had like a 1-2-1-1-1 or something.
I might have gotten a little bit better, but not by much.
Yeah, I think there was one that was kind of lined up where I hit all three, and then two of them just like skirted like the outside of them.
Yeah. Then I got my first 1-1 with Tempered Sword.
Oh, GG's. Congrats. Oh, here's another funny thing. How about another seed with early Ice Rod and no Trinex?
Oh, yeah. Unless if there was Trinex in the basement of GT.
Yeah, that's true. Did you happen to find silvers? You probably didn't.
No, I go mode to Swamp.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, they weren't in the back of Swamp. Or at least... Oh, man. Well, that wouldn't have made a difference for me anyway, but...
Probably left side swamp, most likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw every boss, I do believe, except for Trinax, because we saw an Armor's Knights.
We didn't see
I don't recall a Landmo. We didn't see a Landmo.
We didn't see a Landmo.
So no Landmo. There was Moldorm. There was a couple of Moldorms. There was a Helma. There was an Argus. We have a moth. We had a moth in a second GT, didn't we?
We did.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a blind. We had a cold stare. We had a Viddy. Yeah. Unless he's camping out in the GT basement, we did not have a Viddy. Or not Trinax. Which I'm sure no one is complaining about.
I was ready for a Trinex to just pop up. Especially after Tempered Sword. But yeah, none of that.
All right, well, guys, again, GG's, especially to you, Akash, for being able to pick up the victory, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next round. Again, your opponent still be determined, but everyone can keep an eye on that with Enemizer information. The links are in the chat. You can also feel free to give our runners a follow after a wonderful show they put on for you, and you can also feel free to follow myself if you are so inclined. But again, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you being part of the tournament. werfjig, again, sorry someone had to exit this one, and unfortunately it was you. But, again, thank you so much for being part of it. And look forward to more of you, akuheish.
Yeah, thank you. And I will do my best to keep going on.
You have to live for all of us.
All right, thank you so much, guys. And that is going to be a wrap on today's action. There are multiple races tomorrow. We're going to sit down and look and see what we do decide to stream and get up and running for you all. Until that time comes, again, this has been moocow1980. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you all have yourselves a wonderful night. Peace.